says, I got a good job. I make very, very good money. And she says, the only thing I need now is a man. It's like, yo, like, it's like, who wants you? Who wants you? You right. Like, once you have achieved these things, you have unfortunately disqualified yourself.
Ooh.
Wow, I've never been so happy to be disqualified for something in my life. And seeing as this applies to me since I'm a millionaire, I'm a lawyer, and I have a very successful podcast with CNN, I figured I'd respond. His whole demeanor is, let me reject you before you reject me. And what am I disqualified from exactly? From dating men like you? That's like telling me that I'm disqualified from having a lobotomy. Men like this are threatened by women because they're in constant competition with women. Instead of looking for a partner to build an empire with, they're too busy dragging women down to their level. And it's no surprise that weak men who have nothing else to offer try to use money to control women.
I'm your host, the Marcus Garrett, and on this channel, I hope you learn more, earn more, and save more. Thank you to Delyanne Barros for stopping by for this episode.
You had a response to this video, so can you share with the people what your response was? And it was simply, I think the title of this is High Earning Women Are Less Attractive. Your response.
They knew what they were doing when they posted this. They knew it was going to attract, a lot of negative reactions. And I don't usually like posting stuff like this because they're doing it for clickbait. But it's also, it's an opportunity to start a conversation because there are, unfortunately, a lot of men that feel this way and think this way. And I have felt this, in my dating life where I've always earned more than the men I've been with, than the men I've dated. I've always earned more. I don't lord it over them. I don't look to control them. I'm not trying to be somebody's mama or somebody's, whatever. That's not the goal. And I think that that's the perception that some men have, is if you're a very, successful woman, that you're going to be the one in charge and that he's going to be emasculated and he's not going to have any say. And I think that that's a really toxic mentality. And it makes women who are out there looking for a partner feel like they have to play it small, like they can't play up their accomplishments or that they can't even be accomplished, because then that's going to make them undateable. And that hurts women in the long run. It's hurt them forever, right? Like we've lived under this tyranny of like, you need to be submissive. You need to, know your place in society, and you have to let the man lead. And we're past this stage, right? We're looking for people who are partners. We want partners. I want somebody who's going to walk alongside of me, who's going to help me continue to grow as a person and evolve. And that doesn't mean that like you're not a wallet to me. Like, I would think that men would be happy about that. Like, we're not looking to you like you're a wallet. Isn't that a good thing, right? We have our own money. Bring your personality. Bring me something else to help me grow as an individual. And I think that's the problem, is that some of them maybe don't have a personality, don't have anything else to bring to the table other than money. And so if you take away money, then what else is there? That was my thinking with this whole thing.
Yeah, I get it. And y'all can, I'm sure those who are quick with the Google fingers, and if you want to leave a 5-star review, I'll be happy to read it in as real. I say 5-star because those are the only reviews that I read. But y'all will have the audio. I know some of y'all will be fiery. You can follow up with me at info@themarcusgarrett.com, and I might even find a way to grab some audio. So appreciate you for sharing that. And I'll get your video in as well for the people watching on YouTube at youtube.com/themarcusgarrett. I think I officially hit all the plugs, and I've got a slightly equally viral but slightly lighter one, so I can screen share this one so you can at least see it for the people at home on your screen. So I dropped this on the gram, and of course the ones that I think are going to do something on the gram don't do anything, and this wasn't one of them. I was like, I'll just drop this, see what happens. And where are we at? So it's 48 likes but 32 comments, which is impressive for me. So I'll read it for those people who can't see it. It's from Reddit. Allegedly. I never know what's real anymore. So allegedly it's from Reddit. I'm not trying to get sued by Reddit. I am a 34-year-old male, Reddit relationships, and my wife is female, 29. She has asked me to pay her almost $50,000 to have our child, and I'm not quite sure what to do. So you'll have the full summary on your screen, but there's a there's a summary somewhere. I'm not reading. It's actually, it's a very detailed story.
Yeah.
But the gist of it is my wife and I both earn over $175,000 a year, and we are considering having children. She is asking me to compensate her for 6 to 12 months as compensation for the time she will have to take off to have our child. I do not know whether she is pregnant. Your thoughts, and then I'll share some of the listeners' comments.
Yeah, the whole thing was like, yike. The things about their relationship is, first of all, they're not married. So she's not protected, right? Like neither of them are. There's no protections other than like common law. So they're not married. He says they're spiritually married, whatever that means. The law doesn't recognize that. They split everything 50-50, literally everything 50-50. So she's like, well, I'm going to be taking a hit in my career because I'm going to stay out of the workforce. And I'd like you to compensate me for that. And I think it's smart. I think it's smart. And if we had paid maternity leave in this country, like so many other countries already do, this wouldn't have to be an issue, right? Like couples wouldn't have to be having these types of conversations. And that's what's like frustrating about this. And also if men were, I also reposted this and I said, hey, if men were having children, then they would have paid paternity leave and this wouldn't even be an issue. Let's just say it how it is. That's my opinion. But I think that she's smart to do this. She came at it very pragmatically, and that's probably a product of their relationship. That's probably how they approach everything, from the utilities to the rent. And she's like, well, why should this be any different? And all of a sudden, he's the one being very emotional. He's like, well, we're having a child. Like, she should just be happy to have my child. Like, how dare she ask for, to be financially compensated. And I don't think that's fair.